Hi friends, welcome back to Locally Raised. I'm sitting here with my new raised bed that John just assembled for me. I love raised beds because they allow me to control the quality of my soil. Having high quality soil means I'm not only able to yield more food, but my food is more nutritious. So we're going to install 4 of these at this spot. And by we, I really mean John. John's going to install 4 of these at this spot. I'll give him his credit. And I just can't wait to get them filled and get started. I want to show you how John built these beds. I'm going to describe the process in enough detail that hopefully somebody who's fairly handy could build these like we did. But if you want more detailed instructions, I'll include the link below for the instructions that we purchased to make these beds. I will mention that we made one tweak to the instructions that we purchased. This bed is not as deep as the instructions specify. So let me show you how John built this. The process begins with cutting 4x4s into posts that will go at each corner, as well as 2 in the middle to support the length of the bed. So that's 6 posts in total. The next step is to cut 6 segments of a 2x4. Each of these segments will be fixed to the center of a 4x4 and will serve as a support for a longer 2x4 running across it. Next, 2 screws are used to attach the 2x4 to the center of the 4x4, and this is repeated 6 times. Next, a full 8-foot length of 2x4 is laid across 3 of the posts and screwed into place. And another full length of 2x4 is laid across the bottom of those posts and screwed into place as well. This forms one of the long sides. Then the whole process is repeated with 3 more posts to form the other long side.
I'm not a bad guy, I'm a good guy.
After that, a full 8-foot sheet of corrugated metal is cut to a 17-inch width. This is a very, very, very loud process. This might be a good opportunity to wear earplugs. The process is repeated so that there are 2 17-inch widths of metal, 1 for each long side. Next, the sheet of metal is laid out across the wooden frame and screwed into place. This will form the wall of the long sides of the raised bed. The metal covers the wooden frame entirely so that none of this treated wood will end up touching the soil that's in your raised bed. So none of those chemicals will leach into the soil and into whatever food is grown in the bed. It's a bit difficult to describe the placement of the screws, so I'll just show you here. With the long sides complete, it's time to move on to the short side. This process starts with cutting 4 lengths of 48-inch 2x4. So really just 2 full boards, each cut in half. After that, a 2x6 is cut into 4 10-inch pieces.
Four of those. There's
Finally, it's time to cut out the top rim that'll run around the perimeter of the bed. The top rim will be made from 2x6s. First, 2 48-inch lengths are cut to run along the short sides. Then 2 lengths are cut at 92.5 inches to run the length of the long sides.
oh, you were just cutting a whole nub off.
A level surface for installing the raised beds. We plan to install 4 in all. So fortunately my dad is handy with the rototiller. Typically it's not necessary to rototill before installing a raised bed, but in our case it just helped loosen up the soil so that John could rake it out to a level surface.
Do you need help?
All the pieces are gathered. The long sides, these 3 piles will be assembled into the short sides, and these 2 piles will become the top rim. The assembled panels for the long sides of the beds are propped in their places. The wooden frames should be facing outwards. Installation of the short side begins with screwing one of the 2x4s in place along the bottom. Next, one of the 2x6s is screwed in place. It's slightly inset from the corner so that it has a lip overhanging the inside. The corrugated metal sheet will be attached to this lip. After that, another 2x4 is screwed in place across the top. Finally, the metal sheet is put in place along the inside. As a reminder, it's best to use gloves when handling this. The edges are very sharp. And then roofing screws are used to attach this metal sheet to the wooden frame. Finally, the raised bed is capped with a top rim. This gives it a finished look and also contains all those raw edges. Start with placing one of the short 2x6s along the short side with a slight overhang. Then place the long 2x6s on either of the long sides, ensuring that they look like they are centered. Of course, these things can be measured for perfect centered placement, but we decided to eyeball it. Finally, the top rim is capped with the last of the short sides. This is screwed into place and the bed is complete. Thanks for joining my family for this project. I'm really looking forward to filling this with soil in the next week or so and starting to plan out my spring garden. Best of luck to all of you who are starting your spring gardens right now, or maybe building some raised beds of your own. I'm looking forward to next week's video. I'm going to be picking up my very first baby chicks this week. So I will film all of that and show you how I'm going to care for them, and I can't wait to share that process with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.